Hey guys, Chris here. Real quick, before we get started with the podcast, I want to apologize. Drew was actually not able to record this week, and so I ended up taking the helm on this and recording it for him and sending the audio to him later. But I neglected to check on Skype to see if my Blue Yeti mic that I used to record was actually picking up my audio, and so I forgot about that, and it ended up recording my laptop audio, which isn't terrible, but it was so quiet that I had to jack up the audio to where it sounds terrible. So I apologize if at times, and for the majority of this video probably, if my voice sounds very tinny and bad compared to my normal microphone sound. I do apologize for that. That is totally my bad. That's not Drew. That's not Dan. That's not Nint. That's all me. I take full responsibility for this. That's my mistake, my screw up. And I do apologize for that. I hope that doesn't take away from this episode too badly, because it was a really good episode, and I didn't want to disappoint Dan and Nint, and especially Drew, because I know we all worked really hard on this episode, and everybody seemed to have a good time talking, so I didn't want to screw that up any more than I already did. So here's the podcast, as imperfect as it is. It's still a pretty good episode, I gotta say. Hope you guys enjoy, and talk to you soon. Bye, guys. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GG Gaming Podcast this week. I'm your host, Chris, aka Alpha Stoutland, and today I'm joined by my co-host and player 2, Apocalypso.
Hi.
And our special guest for the day and our player 3, my good buddy NintIce2000. Say hey, man.
Hello.
You guys may notice Drew is missing from the normal head player 1 role. He is actually away at the moment. He will probably be joining us very soon. And we haven't heard from Brandon, aka Papagenos, this week, so obviously he's a busy guy with Smash speculation and stuff, so he probably is very busy with that. So maybe he'll be back next week, we never know. But yeah, us three are here, Drew's on the way soon. So starting off as we always do, what have you been up to this week, Dan?
I thought...
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. I already forgot.
Yeah, you can go first if you want.
Yeah, I might as well go first since you already mentioned.
Okay.
Not much has happened really. I did last week. I finished the Dragon Quest 11 demo.
Nice.
Finished that last week after the podcast last week. So I didn't, I obviously didn't mention it because it didn't happen yet. I didn't finish it yet, but that is what happened. And I'm trying to remember what else happened. Well, not really, not much has happened. I do, next week, school starts, for me. And, oh yeah, the big thing that, I've been talking with Drew about and somebody else, a friend of mine online. I think after I graduate high school, I'm probably gonna start an indie game studio.
Cool.
And, my first game idea is an RPG. Which instead of magic, it has verbal attacks, like emotionally charged verbal attacks as like the replacement for magic.
Huh.
And
so almost like an actual spell from like Harry Potter or something, but the spell itself is the words you speak, kind of like Fusrada or something. Cool.
Yeah, but each emotion has a it corresponds to a certain element.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sadness is like ice, fury or rage is like fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember here. So, and then there was like depression or something like that, which is dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then joy or happiness, which is light. And then there's something separate, logic, which Drew compared it to like normal type attacks in Pokemon. Basically, there are battles in my game that there are a few different types of battles that are purely physical battles, purely verbal battles, where verbal attacks are the only ones that are allowed to be used. And then there are battles with both. So it's like battles with both are like basically like a standard RPG. And the reason, and logic attacks, I make it so that all but the most powerful logic attacks don't cost any EP, which is emotional power. So that because as Drew pointed out, logic and emotion are basically opposites. So I decided to incorporate that into the game where logic attacks would basically be like the replacement for like physical attacks in verbal only battles, and that's why they wouldn't cost any EP, because you don't want to screw the players over for if verbal attacks are the only ones allowed to be used. Every attack would cost EP, and you only have a limited amount of that in each battle. So you want to have some verbal attacks that don't cost EP.
Okay.
So that's the system I figured out. And Drew wondered, I've yet to respond to him about this on Facebook, but he wondered what would keep people from abusing logic attacks if they don't cost any EP. And my simple answer to that is that the ones that don't cost EP are pretty weak.
Okay.
And the ones that do cost EP are like really powerful, so, and they usually cost a lot of EP. And basically the explanation for that is like, some people use emotion when giving logical arguments in like a courtroom or whatever. So, and I figured maybe there's like a character who's like the president of the speech and debate club at the high school where the game takes place. And I figured he could have like really incredibly powerful logic attacks that cost EP.
Cool.
Because he'd be like the most he'd be the most sensible choice for that because obviously he's like a super speech and debate guy, so he'd have a lot of logical arguments, but he'd also be able to intertwine emotion into that, which is what any good lawyer should be able to do.
That's actually a really cool idea, man. That's really
cool.
Yeah.
And I thought of having a girl in the game who's bipolar.
Huh.
So her elements, her specialty elements will cycle between being depression and joy. Basically, it tells you how she's feeling at the moment, which personality trait is kind of taking over at the moment, so you can plan your battles accordingly based on how she's feeling. And I feel like there aren't very many bipolar characters in video games, so I feel like people who are bipolar might appreciate her. And also, it's a very story-driven game, so I figured if I talk to actual bipolar people, ask them about the issues they go through, I could accurately portray the struggles of bipolar people with that character.
That's actually really cool, because I know Celeste was kind of like that with mental health issues, and the game was made because the creator was actually struggling with that himself, and so that's actually really cool as a base is, the state of mental health and, people's issues with their mental health and stuff. That's actually really cool.
And I figured each party member could have some kind of, could be broken in some way, could have some kind of issue, or that, some kind of like emotional issue that expresses itself in gameplay. The main character is female, and so once a month she'll have overly, powerful emotional attacks. And I think you can tell what that's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's good that you're trying to do something unique,
And my other idea for a game when that one's done, this one's like I like to start things with a bang. And I figured making a unique RPG that has that's different from other RPGs would be a good way to start out as an indie game developer to get cred. And the other game I had was made like a Metroidvania game.
Okay.
It would be, basically it's like a spiritual successor to the classic Metroid games. Basically it's this guy in like, a suit of armor or whatever, with like a gun, and he's exploring this abandoned Dyson sphere that, like all the people like mysteriously died or something, and it's a pretty massive game, and it's non-linear as well, so you can play it in any order you want. But there are certain areas that you'll need certain power-ups to access. But you can start. It's kind of like Kirby Superstar's Great Cave Offensive, where you have like the starting area, but you can pretty much go in any direction you want after that. It's a very non-linear game. It's a very non-linear part of the game. It's kind of be like that. You have this starting area, and you can just pretty much progress in any order you want. And there are areas you can access without power-ups, but there are other areas that you have to access with power-ups. So you have to explore around and find those power-ups before you can access those hidden areas.
Cool.
So I think Metroid to a certain extent is non-linear, but I think it is pretty non-linear. So my idea for the Metroidvania game is less unique than my idea for the RPG, but I feel like it might appeal to more people than the RPG would.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that some people don't play RPGs because they don't have a lot of time. So, I mean, and that actually applies to me. Actually, I used to like RPGs back then, but I kind of shied away from them. Aside from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah.
And I guess Marvel's Alliance too.
So, I asked Drew about helping out with my RPG, and he did say he wanted to make a game at some point in the future. So he's probably gonna have quite a bit to do with the art direction of the game. I asked him specifically if he could do with the character portraits. When characters are in dialogue, there's like a character portrait comes up, and displaying different emotions that they're having in the dialogue. And I figured he could make those, and maybe some other like assets as well. That like I'm probably gonna do like at least the main party members and all the sprites associated with them. I'm not very good at sprite art. Like the only sprite character I've done is a green square with eyes.
Oh wow!
And that was it. So this is a little out of my league, but I'm up for a challenge. And the other two people, Drew and the other guy involved so far, are both artistic, so they can help me out if they need to.
Okay. It definitely takes a team for a game, for sure.
And Drew mentioned that he actually knows a few voice actors because he wanted to have voice acting for his comic, so they could easily help out with my game.
For sure, man, for sure. Have you played any new games or anything? I forget. I think you said you played a game this week. You said you finished the Dragon Quest XI demo. That's right. I knew you said you played a game. I've got the demo, I just haven't gotten around to playing it because I was trying to get a video out. Because, yeah. But, so I need to play it myself. But,
it's like 10 hours long to do everything.
I heard that. That's awesome. That's a huge demo, man. That's crazy.
It took me like 8 hours and 41 minutes to finish it because I didn't do all the quests.
Okay. That's cool. It's a good way to get your feet wet in the series, too.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to it. And the fact that it all transfers to the final game is pretty sweet, too.
Yeah.
If you don't have, do you have anything else to add before we move on to Nint?
I don't think so.
Okay, alright. I didn't want to cut you off unless you had something else to say.
No.
Alright. So, moving on to our special guest, NintIce2000. Nint, what have you been up to this week, man?
Well, basically just trying to beat games before Spiral Arena Trilogy comes out next week.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, because I try not to be overloaded with stuff I have to do, so this week I've just been focusing on games that I have to finish. Like, I finished Assassin's Creed. Today I finished both Whipseey and Stranger Things 3, which is short. And basically all I have left now is Rayman Legends.
Sweet! You said Whispy's too short?
Oh yes, you have no idea. I kid you not, it only has 5 levels. You can literally beat it in you can literally beat it in 1 hour.
Oh my goodness.
I guess that justifies the $6 price tag, but seriously, this is the shortest game I've ever played.
Really?
Thankfully, I did not play it all in one day. When it comes to games, I try to savor them a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, and but last night I read a review, and then I was like, what? It only has 5 levels? And then, even when the first day when I played it, and then I checked the status screen, and it said 40% after I beat 4 stages, I was like, no, it can't be that short. So, yeah, that was pretty disappointing on that end.
Did you enjoy it though? Was it a good game?
It's a good game. The mechanics are pretty simple though. I mean, literally, you can just do 3 things. You can whip, you can swing, you can glide, that's it.
Really?
What game is this?
Whipseey and the Lost Atlas.
Ah.
In a nutshell, what if you took Kirby, gave him elements similar to Jigglypuff, and have him permanently keep the whip ability, albeit with a simple moveset? And because the mechanics are so simple, there were some parts of the levels that were surprisingly really hard. It was driving me crazy. I was expecting a relaxing experience, but then I was getting upset because, that sucked for it. The bosses, on the other hand, they're stupidly easy. So, this game is a huge mess.
Wow, that's crazy. That's kind of how I feel about Crash, because in the first game he can literally spin and jump, that's it. And it makes for extremely frustrating gameplay when that's all you can do, and you feel so helpless. So I can definitely relate in that sense, being limited in your moveset. But yeah, level design and character design definitely go a long way with enjoying a game. Hollow Knight is a great example. Even though you start off with literally nothing but a jump and a slash, as you progress, you just get so much more powerful, and you feel so much more powerful. It's just like, oh wow, I'm actually working to get better at this game. So it's just a great feeling compared to being so limited with what you've got. So
yeah. And because I literally finished the game today, I'm gonna be reviewing it tomorrow on Twitter, and it's not gonna be as positive as the Stranger Things one, unfortunately.
So how long did it take you to finish Stranger Things?
According to the game, about 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fairly big game for $20, unlike Whipseey.
Okay.
Yeah, and that includes doing all the side quests and stuff. And as a matter of fact, I think I finished all of them.
Dang. Wow.
So, yeah. I have not collected all of the gnomes. As you can see, I only got 35 out of 50. But the rewards aren't really worth it, because I beat the story already. And I am the only series that I'm a completionist in is Kirby, or unless the game is really easy to 100%.
Yeah.
I may do this game since it's not too hard, but I don't know.
Yeah. Are there achievements in that game? Or?
No.
Ah, okay.
And good thing too, because the bosses were so brutal. I mean, if you watch the videos, you especially saw one of them that they were at almost 0 HP, and I was just about to kill them, and then they healed to full health in 10 seconds, and then I died.
So that's what happened. Okay, I saw that clip, and I was trying to follow what happened. I just wasn't sure
well,
what.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't watch the show. So.
Yeah.
So, what you you were talking about prices for games. I was trying to figure out what price. I was trying to think about what console I have my game on, and what price to have it. I mean, I'm still not even on the planning stage. I'm not planning on doing any actual development until I'm done with high school. Until I finish this upcoming year. But I figured might as well plan ahead and figure all this stuff in advance, so I don't have to use up precious development time figuring all that out. So I figured the other guy, I told him my game could be like something on a Nintendo eShop. It's like a digital game only. But if we wouldn't be able to do that for some reason, we could put it on Steam. But I really want it to be on the Switch, because I feel like it would automatically make it, give it more exposure if it's on the Switch.
It'd have more cred if it was there for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Plus, it's
and
on the go. I mean, it's.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, in terms of pricing, I was thinking, if it's like a massive game, I'm not looking to make a huge profit out of it. It's probably gonna be mostly crowdfunded anyway. So I was thinking $15-20 would be a reasonable price for a game like that.
I'd say that's fair, especially if it's a big, like you said, a big game with a lot of battles and characters and levels and stuff. Yeah, I definitely think price depends on just how broad the game is, because, and go back to Hollow Knight, again I say that because I love the game, $15 was actually a pretty good bargain, but I got it half price at $7.50. That's an absolute steal. That felt like I walked in Walmart and took a handful of cash. It was a great bargain.
The game's probably not going to be that long. It's probably going to be, maybe, it's not going to be like anywhere close to like the length of anything like Persona 5 or Dragon Quest 11.
Oh yeah.
It's probably going to be like a, maybe like a 10, 15, 20 hour game at the most. I mean, that's pretty long for an indie game. But,
oh yeah. Yep.
I'd say that's, it's a pretty good, it's a pretty good price for a game like that. I'm still not sure how big it's going to be. It really depends on how much development time we have, and if we run out of budget, and if we, how long it actually takes us to develop individual parts of the game, because it's going to only be like three main people working on it, with maybe extras. 3 main people right now, but we may end up getting more people. My music teacher, my music instructor, who helped me write a song this past few weeks, may actually end up doing the music for that game.
That'd be so cool.
Which actually kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've heard of the Turtles, the band The Turtles.
Yep. The Imagine Me and You, I do. Yep.
Yeah, Happy Together.
Yep.
Apparently he got an offer from like the Revived Turtles to be their keyboardist.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
But he still has to audition, and probably other people that are much better. So there's no guarantee that he'll get it, even if he he just got like the offer like a couple days ago, so he still has to accept it. But he's reluctant as of right now, because it would mean he can't teach anymore.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like he really enjoys teaching music, so it'd really be a tough decision. But if he's still around, then if he doesn't take that offer in like a year, he could write the music for I could work with him, and we both he and I could work on writing the music for my game. And I think if that ends up working, then I think that it could end up being a pretty high quality first title for a game studio.
Yeah, man, especially someone with obviously they'd have actual music experience if he's a teacher and if they're doing music in the first place. But especially someone that you're so closely connected to and have that relationship with. It's like, hey, would you like to help me out on this passion project, and there's a little bit of all of you guys in it. That's cool, man. That's really cool. I hope it works out, because that's a really cool idea.
And I'm thinking it probably will have to be, crowdfunded, because if I just gave everybody involved on the game a commission of the game sales, instead of paying them a set amount, I wouldn't get very much from the game once it's all spread out among everybody, and I need to make as much money as possible to fund the next game. So like the first few games that I make, or this indie studio, if I do end up making it, will probably have to be crowdfunded in order to get my feet off the ground, so I can get enough profit to actually fund all the games in-house, independent of other people's help.
Yep.
And then I could just, if that doesn't work out for some reason, I could just always end up contractually working with bigger game companies. Like Nintendo has several different second-party companies that they work with that are separate from them, but maybe they don't own them. It might not be second-party, but they work with them, and they publish for them or whatever. So that it could be a similar relationship, to that with another game company. If I can't really act independent of other people.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, man. And Nint, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? You wanted to add what you've been up to this week, or?
Well, I already talked about Stranger Things. I already talked about Whipseey. I guess since I've been going through a lot of headache with the games lately, with the challenges, I've been going back to Marvel Team Alliance 3, especially since tomorrow there's going to be free DLC coming out.
I've heard that, yep.
Yep, Cyclops and Colossus are coming.
That's cool.
As free characters. Yeah, especially since it's also getting paid DLC. The developers, they were not kidding when they said they wanted to keep growing the roster. I really like that. Especially since, with Marvel, they have so many characters.
Oh, yeah. Now, Moon Knight is coming, right?
Yeah, in the Night Pack, along with Punisher and Morbius and Blade.
Okay, that's right, Blade. I knew there were some other characters. I don't know as many of the Marvel side characters as obviously the Hulks and the Thors and the Spider-Man and Captain America and stuff. So, I knew Miles and Spider-Gwen and obviously Deadpool and stuff. So, but yeah, some of the more minor side characters I tend to forget. It's like, oh yeah, you exist. So, but yeah,
I'm kind of a Marvel nerd, so you could, I guess, help you with that.
Yeah, which I'm definitely more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy, save for Joker.
Me too.
Joker is amazing. He's such a great villain. But yeah, I'm a Marvel guy. Spider-Man is my favorite hero. I love Spidey.
Yeah, me too. I do like some of DC's characters too, especially Shazam. Ever since I saw the movie, he's become my favorite DC hero.
I love.
Because his powers are just so cool. He's like a magic-based Superman that's also electrical.
Yep, that was a great movie to start with. So I know this isn't a movie review, but Shazam was great. I did have a lot of fun with it.
especially given DC's reputation with their movies.
Yeah. I still need to watch Wonder Woman, and I've heard Aquaman's great too. So, just not super into Batman vs Superman. That's just not really grabbed me yet. So.
Now that I think about it, I think Shazam is actually my first DC movie.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't remember watching. Oh, never mind. I watched Man of Steel.
Okay. Now, I have not seen that, but I've seen some of the older Superman movies with Christopher Reeves. So.
There's actually an interesting little tidbit about Shazam. In the original Shazam comics, there was a character who had a hairstyle that greatly resembled Elvis's hairstyle.
Really?
Elvis actually got his inspiration for that hairstyle from that Shazam character.
Really?
And so,
Really?
in the modern Shazam, in the modern Shazam movie, they made everything go full circle and have the Shazam character be inspired by Elvis.
That's cool. That's really cool, dude. That's so cool. It's always cool to see inspiration turn around and inspire the inspiration. That's cool. Anything else you guys have to add before I chime in?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, other than the spiral coming out. Oh, and also, I'm pretty sure all my Twitter followers know this by now, but I'm pretty hyped for Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be great.
I've just become really attached to Ori. He's so cute, and I love that he reminds me of Stitch, and apparently has links to Sylveon. I did not think of that. So that's really cool. He has the link to both Disney and Pokemon, two other things I really like. So.
Well, Stitch reminds me of Pikachu.
How?
Similar body shape.
Picture. Pikachu.
That was awesome. Dude, you do a great impression.
Thank you.
Stitch.
Mahala.
Ahana means family.
Family means
What is
I actually rewatched this movie like a few days ago.
Which one? The first one?
The original.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna, of course, because of the Ori hype, I'm actually gonna rewatch all the Stitch movies on Netflix.
He's still my favorite Disney character. I love Goofy and I love Mickey and Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and all those guys, but man, I love Stitch. He's such a good character. He's so cute and gross and funny, and I love him so much.
And he was originally, Jumbo said he originally made him to be like a destroyer, but of course Lilo helped shape him into something good.
Oh yeah.
And he tries, the moral of the movie gives, it's that he's trying to behave better and improve.
Yeah,
but he also knows that he was originally created to be like a monster.
Yep.
And that's actually, from what I remember, is what the sequel is based on. Like his destructive programming starts kicking in or something like that.
Yep, he has a glitch because when Jumbo was programming him, he was basically cut off and imprisoned and didn't finish upgrading him, and that's almost what kills him pretty much. But yeah, he's just such a cool character. I mean,
Jumbo's funny too.
Jumbo's
I love
great,
him.
yeah. Oh, little girl, yeah.
Especially when he and Stitch were fighting over the gun that was gonna blow up.
Yes.
Merry Christmas! It's not Christmas. Happy Hanukkah!
Yeah. There were just so many good jokes in that series, man. It just.
Yeah.
And of course, I love the fact that, because I'm a big crossovers guy, I love the fact that the Lilo and Stitch the series on Disney Channel crossed over with the Proud Family,
Really?
Recess. Regis Philbin showed up, Kim Possible, American Dragon, Jake Long. There were so many great crossovers in that series. It was awesome. It was so cool. The Kim Possible was great.
I really wish that Lilo and Stitch appeared more in Kingdom Hearts, because the only time Stitch appeared was in one that I did not play, which was Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
In fact, they only did the space portion. They never did the Hawaiian portion, so we never got to see Lilo.
I wish that they would do that, man. And I hate it because, I haven't played it. I watched my brother play it. I paid special attention to that part because it's Stitch. But I did play Kingdom Hearts 2, and he's a summon in there, and then 3, he's also a summon. But it ain't the same as teaming up with him and going through his world, because just from watching my brother play and watching him fight Sparky and Gantu and all the other characters, it was really cool.
I really wish I could play 3. Because I don't have nor want a PS4.
Oh yeah, I'm English. I am glad my brother has a PS4 because that's how I played Kingdom Hearts 3. I waited till he was pretty much done with the game to do my playthrough. And it has its flaws, but it is still a fun game. That is one thing I think was kind of lacking, was the summons. I mean, Simba's OP as heck, but
What does he do?
he basically just he's kind of like this fire version of Simba. He's way huge. I mean, he's probably normal size because he's a lion, for crying out loud, but he's like got flames around him, and he stomps around and shoots fire and just does these big flame bursts and stuff, and he's really good. But Stitch is weird because he makes like this little outline of a plasma blaster, and then whoever's inside gets trapped and explodes on him and stuff. It's a lot different than his summon in Kingdom Hearts 2, where he just kind of shoots his blaster and plays the ukulele. It's much more Stitch than Kingdom Hearts 3's summon, so... but yeah, it's still cool to see him in the game, it's just not the same in, you know, being able to team up with him. But I'm rambling, so... because I love Stitch, so...
Yeah, I perfectly get it. Stitch is rightfully popular.
I know, it's really cool.
I can't even choose who my favorite Disney character is. There's just so many. You got Baymax, you got Stitch, you got all the Pixar characters. I personally still call them Disney.
I know, they're basically Disney at this point. Buzz and Woody are just as much Disney as Mickey and Minnie to me now.
Yeah.
I do have to say, you know, you have those characters you stay attached to, and Stitch has always been one of those for me, but man, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, I have loved them since I was like 2. I've just grown up with them. I love the Pooh characters so much, man. Even as an adult, I remember going to Disney World and meeting Pooh, Tigger, and Eeyore, and I felt like this little kid, just because it was my childhood, and I just loved it. And Eeyore hugged my mom and held her hand and stuff, because my mom loves Eeyore, and we were taking a picture of her, and Eeyore was reaching to grab her hand, and she didn't notice. I said, "Mom, he's trying to grab your hand," and it was just cute as all get out. It was such a great trip. The characters made that trip, and we may or may not have trekked around the Magic Kingdom 2 days to see Stitch. My family did not like me very much, but I was like, I want to see Stitch, so...
They actually shut down that Stitch ride.
Yeah, I know, and it was cool for what it was worth, but looking back, it is kind of like, it didn't really do much, but yeah, I mean, it was still cute.
I actually heard that it was much scarier than that. I actually watched the video, and oh my goodness.
It does go pitch black, and then you just kind of feel him crawling behind your head and stuff, and then he goes like, miss me, now you gotta kiss me, because Gantu's blasting at him the whole time and stuff, and then he burps, and you smell like chili dogs in the air and stuff, and it's great.
What is this podcast become?
I know, right? Talking about Stitch's chili dog breath. But yeah, to quit this tangent, before I go any further down the rabbit hole, what have I been up to? I have been playing Pokemon Go a decent bit. This has been the Water Festival week this week, and I have been stocking up on Magikarp candy like crazy. So I'm trying to evolve him to Gyarados. I'm about a little over halfway there, because he takes 400 candy to evolve, and oh boy, that's hard to do. Still shiny hunting for Shiny Pheromosa and Pokemon Ultra Sun, which my friend Ryan let me borrow. I'm at...
Shiny hunt?
I do, yep. I'm currently at 4,600 soft resets. Hoi. So...
You must be charging your DS a lot, then.
A decent bit. If I keep it on and for a little bit and then turn it off, it usually holds charge a couple days. But yeah, I try and charge it up so it doesn't go dead. Especially if I ever found it, I'd be crushed. If I found it and it died on me, I would cry like a baby. But
I understand.
But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I'm shiny hunting at the moment. Once that's done, I want to do Greninja and Haunter, because shiny Greninja looks great, and I love shiny Haunter's blue tongue. And obviously when Sword and Shield come out, I want to shiny hunt those. But I'm waiting for Pheromosa, and I didn't think it would take over 4,000 soft resets, because I've been spoiled by the shiny Charm and stuff, because I hatched a shiny Charmander in 9 eggs in Ultra Sun and stuff. And I've had short hunts before. I've hatched a shiny Onix in 2. I found a shiny Stubble first encounter in a friend safari. So I've been spoiled over the years, and it's just catching up to me. I was like, oh man, shiny full odds hunting is ridiculously difficult. So, I mean, I've seen people go over 69,000 soft resets trying to get something.
How do they even count that stuff? That's what I want.
I just keep a notepad and just add the number every time I encounter it.
Man, this was the only for like the most patient people on the planet.
Yeah, that's why I like doing the shiny charm hunts, because I do Masuda method and get the shiny charm usually. Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are pretty much the first games I've been able to fully do that. I've obviously Masuda method bred before, but this is the only game where I've actually been able to complete the entire Pokédex in one game. So I'm very happy that I have, but looking back, it's like if I ever try and shiny hunt in Gen 5, 4, 3, or whatever, it's going to take forever. And I have kind of slacked off on my shiny Celebi hunt in Virtual Console Crystal, because the soft resets take literally like 30 seconds a piece because the game is so slow. So I have to do that is a patience thing, and I've seen people get her or it in like 400 soft resets.
Come on.
I know. I've seen people get Celebi, shiny Celebi in like 400 soft resets. I've seen them get her at 6,000 soft resets. So it's just yeah, it can be a very long waiting game, but it's definitely worth it because I love shiny pink onions. So, but yeah, shiny Pheromos is the only one on the list right now. So.
I wonder what shiny Melmetal looks like.
Very, very slightly different. Its metal stays the same color, I think, but instead of gold, it turns kind of a bronzy brown. So it's not like
you haven't
like
gotten Melmetal before. Have you even gotten a Meltan?
I haven't. I'm currently doing some research tasks in Go, because that's the only way you can get it in Pokemon Go. And I haven't gotten to the point in Let's Go where I can connect to Go and catch Meltan. So because there's actually a thing where you can cross over Go and Let's Go. Obviously, you can transfer Pokemon from Go to Let's Go, but there's also this thing where you can connect to Let's Go with your phone, and it gives you this gift in Let's Go, and for like 30 minutes you can catch Meltan. So that's how you get so many. So I haven't gotten that far in the game yet, because I kind of got burned out on it, because it just honestly was kind of boring. But I need to pick that up and finish so I can actually do some shiny hunts and hunt for Meltan.
So you have played it? I haven't really seen you playing it according to your play history.
I haven't played it in about a month now. It's been a while. So yeah. I've been playing Ultra Sun. I've been trying to work on some videos and stuff. I'm trying to think. I haven't played much. Now, I do have to say, that's one new thing that's big news. 13 AM Games did a Runbow giveaway for their 4-year anniversary, and I won a copy, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm very psyched to try that game out, because it's got Shantae and Shovel Knight. I almost said Shantae and Sora, because I'm so used to saying that. Shantae and Shovel Knight and Lilac and I think Quote and Commander Video and all those characters.
I don't recall Quote being in it.
Okay. I know there's a...
I only know Shantae, Shovel Knight, Gunvolt, Lilac, there's Dusty from Steam Day, there's Commander and Commander Video. Mm-hmm. There's Swan from Guacamelee, and the few of them.
Yeah.
No, okay. Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
There's something that occurred to me today, relating to, Smash Ultimate's, copyright information that appears at the end of Classic Mode, and I think possibly other places too. Way Forward is the only indie studio credited, in the copyright information.
Really?
Despite the fact that Commander Video is, I believe, a spirit. I'm not sure.
I think he's not, but the Shovel Knight gang, there's 5 Shovel Knight characters as spirits, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, there are other indie studios that there are other indie companies and other video game companies that don't have playable representation, that aren't credited in the copyright information, but Way Forward is.
Now I saw a picture of what you're talking about with the black screen that shows up at the end of like Nintendo Directs and stuff, or Smash trailers, or is it the actual credits from Classic Mode?
I think I remember seeing it in Classic Mode, but I don't think it doesn't appear in the blank screen at the end of Directs, but it does appear in Classic Mode.
So Yacht Club Games does not show up in Classic Mode's credits?
I'm not sure. I have to check that.
Okay.
But I don't remember seeing it.
I have to, because it scrolls so fast it's hard to see. I'll have to screenshot it and check sometime. Because I have seen Way Forward's name scroll through the credits, obviously. So I'm sure if they are, Yacht Club is probably there. And I'm just as bad about anybody as reaching about Shantae evidence, but I don't want to, overreach, because that nipped me in the bud last time, so. But yeah. That, if Yacht Club is not credited, then that's gonna be like, what? So, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. So.
That's like a huge conspiracy theory.
Yep.
So if this thing spreads around, just remember where you got it from.
X-Files theme starts playing.
Overused.
But if this thing spreads around, like online, as like a conspiracy theory about Shantae being Smash, just remember you got it from me.
Yeah, you got it from Apocalypso.
Let's face it, it's going to. We're talking about Smash for flying off.
This is true, yeah. Everything's
literally everything. People literally take everything for hints. It honestly kind of gets annoying.
Yeah, and looking back, I do think there were some hints with the ultimate lead-up in regards to Shantae at least being added as a spirit. So, I mean, everyone is invited and stuff. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. But there were some hints that was like, okay, this can't be just a coincidence. And there were some other characters, like Rodon in Bayonetta 2, some of the DLC things, he said something about, hey, next time you're in that Smash game, bring me along for a ride, would you? Or something like that. And he ends up being an assist trophy in the very next game, so there's definitely been hints before, but it becomes a problem when all we do is just grab at hints, so
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
There is that image I showed you. I posted on Twitter of Persona 5, which I don't think was hinting at Smash, but it was a reference to Smash, and it was almost like they knew Joker was gonna be in.
Yeah, man.
Like 2 years early. Well, actually 3 years early, because it came out in 2016 in Japan.
Who knows, man? That might have been part of the reason that Sakurai kind of really put his foot in there and be like, hey, can we add Joker in Smash? Because they actually referenced the game that he loved, and I'm sure he was like, what? When that actually happened. So, I mean, because it's one of his favorite games, and his brainchild referenced in that game. I'm sure he was probably fanboying at that point. Because he's only human. I'm sure he was like, oh! So, yeah. Because I would be flattered and freaking out, so. But yeah, I haven't really been up to much besides software setting for Pheromosa and scripting my next videos, so that's not much besides that. And of course, work stuff, church stuff, just stuff, life stuff. So, but
I find it very difficult to make scripted videos because it feels like work. I still have two video scripts that haven't finished. Mm-hmm. There's one that, I got quite, far in, but it's not finished, and there's one I just barely started. Like, for some reason, there's something about it I just don't like to script videos for some reason, because it feels like work.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I can definitely feel that.
And I almost feel guilty by scripting certain videos, because there's some videos, obviously, like all the Smash speculation videos I've done, save for the last All of the Evidence Shantae thing, because I wanted to make sure I got all the information, and so I put it all in a script, and I was reading it off to make sure I got everything. But most of the other stuff I've done on my channel, like Smash Bros. Coverage-wise, is all just ad-lib. It's all just not... I put, like, maybe some pointers in a Word document, but besides that, there's really nothing. But what I'm currently scripting, like, there's certain videos you want to script, like my series Dual Type Breakdown, I have to script that, otherwise I would be rambling like crazy, because I tend to ramble a lot, as you guys probably know from watching this podcast,
So does Boy.
Yeah, I lose track easily with certain topics and stuff. Like, I'll say something that's like, ooh, jump into that tangent, and, so I obviously, as you can see, I stutter and I ramble, and so if I don't script it, it turns out a lot worse than I want it to be. And of course, editing is a thing, and so I can cut out parts where I'm just stuttering like an idiot, but for the most part, it's better for me in the long run to just go ahead and just do this big chunk of audio, and then add in effects as I'm going. So, if I still like talking to the webcam and stuff, it's just to me, it's not as quality of a video as, you know, scripting it, editing it, and stuff. So, just to me, because I know what I used to do video-wise, and I look back. I actually watched a video last night where I found my shiny Trico, and it hurt my ears to listen to that audio because, oh my word, it was so bad. That was back in 2012, so I was just a wee little lad, but yeah, that was a long time ago.
This is good, very good to know, considering that I want to be a YouTuber in the future.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely good mic, good computer, and just have fun. That's probably the 3 pointers I have. It's just making YouTube videos. You know, make sure that you've got good recording software and a good computer, a good microphone, and just have fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's advice from a 2,000 subs YouTuber, not a million or 15 million or whatever. Just a little guy in a big pond. And of course, obviously, getting a fan base is a big thing. But enough about me. Let's talk about what's happened this week. So, Pokemon-wise, like I said, the Water Festival for Pokemon Go is ending tomorrow as of recording this. Pokemon Masters came out today. That's a pretty big deal. The game looks great. But at the same time, it's taking attention away from the physical console games that the actual attention should be put on. But at the same time, it's a cool-looking Pokemon game, but at the same time, it's a cool-looking Pokemon game on the phone, so yeah, that's a whole topic on its own. But it looks cool. I have to admit, it looks really good. I just wish that much effort was put into Sword and Shield. And again, that's a topic for the video. Because I still need to do my video.
Because honestly, at this point, especially I've been thinking this since I've been finishing the Sun and Moon anime on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
I've been recently feeling that they put more effort into Sun and Moon than they are right now in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sun and Moon are great. I love Sun and Moon.
I don't get why that game gets a lot of hate. I guess aside from the cutscenes and the hand-holding. Personally, I love cutscenes because it's the equivalent of a video game movie.
I never complained about the cutscenes because they were good. There were some really good cutscenes. Now, obviously, the hand-holding, I'm kind of like, okay, chill out. How I know what to do. I know how to catch a Pokemon and stuff. And I wish there was things you could skip. But the cutscenes, the Alolan forms, the Ultra Beasts. In the second game, this is the Ultra Wormholes, and finding all the legendaries. It's just, there's so much those games had to offer, and it's great. And of course, Z-moves and Mega Evolutions in the same game was pretty crazy. So it's a lot in those games that we're losing in these new games. So, and of course, again, I don't want to say too much because I gotta do a video on it, but, you know, it kind of pertains to the topic at hand with Masters, but, you know, the TLDR, you know, mobile gaming is taking too much of a front row seat. Keep the console games the priority.
What was your favorite part in Sun and Moon?
Oh man, the one I still remember was when Lusamine fused with Nihiligo. That scene was so dope, because I remember her being... Because Nihiligo just floats above her, and I was like, wait, what? And then she just drops, and the screen goes white, and all of a sudden you see this big black tentacle hand come out. I was like, what? And then it showed her profile, and I was like, oh my gosh, did she just? And I was like, holy crap, I have to fight her. And then she threw out a Pokemon, and I was like, oh, never mind. Okay, it's just a trainer battle. But
that would be insane.
Dude, that would have been so cool. I was so disappointed and surprised at the same time. I was like, because then all of her Pokemon have this like super ticked off face, like Clefable and Willigan.
Even my Lord.
And it's so cool how they did that. And they're all their stats are boosted, and they have this red aura, and it was just such a cool battle and such a cool concept. And then Beware, of course, is just sitting there, just super blank, looking off in the distance. Yeah. Beware. Yeah.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
He just, I will admit that the whole deal of him, and in fact, the recent episode, Neil actually confirmed that he was, despite having a high-pitched voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually was happy about that because I consider Bjorn a male, but I do feel like the joke kind of, got old with the whole saving Team Rocket thing, but the fact that it's different in every episode is what makes it so entertaining and at the same time hilarious.
It doesn't, what's the word? It doesn't become tiresome. You never know when he's gonna run in, yeah.
I mean, he runs like freaking Naruto,
know,
and then he super jumps like Superman.
He's easily one of the best parts of the Sun and Moon anime.
And then, in fact, every time I kept seeing the Rescue Team Rocket, I was like, why don't you just catch him so you can use him?
I know, right?
But then at the same time, at the end of the day, Team Rocket is the villain, and he was a pretty dang good Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's another one I want to shiny hunt and call it Puma, like Winnie the Pooh and Kuma from Tekken, because it's a fighting bear. Oh, I remember that first episode where it's just punched the tree in two, and I was like, oh my gosh, what? It's such a weird, goofy Pokemon that's really busted. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, he takes damage like a tank, he'll hits like a tank, he has a lot of HP, he's like a mini Snorlax.
Yeah, man,
And the fact that he got Drain Punch and do some just made him stronger.
Yes, and there's so many. That's one thing I hope they change the Sword and Shield, even though they're not, because I know Game Freak that there's move tutors in the first games. I don't know why they do that, but yeah, I'm definitely glad Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon added move tutors again, because yeah, Drain Punch on Beware, Buzzwole, all those guys definitely is a must. It was really very welcome.
Yeah, and on the topic of Lucimi, my favorite part was the Ether Foundation, because the whole deal with a part of them was secretly corrupted, and my favorite part of that whole scene was the battle music. It's definitely one of my favorite themes in all of the series.
Yeah, it's really good.
I remember constantly listening to it over and over again and looking up remixes. The song is just so good.
I love the Team Skull theme. And the Champion Defense theme. I love the Champion Defense theme. It just sounds like this big cinematic orchestra, and it's just beautiful. It's so good.
Yeah.
I just love it. I've caught myself listening to it so many times. And there's actually a techno remix of it that I use for my Dual Type Breakdown series. And it's because I love that song so much. And then I found this person, their video only had like 2,000 views, and I was like, how does this only have 2,000 views? It's one of the dopest Pokemon remixes I've ever heard. So I'll probably give that to Drew to link in this video, because it is such a killer video, such a killer tune.
For some reason, every time I saw Kukui, I always thought of Hercules because of his pose. I don't know why. It's just how my mind thinks sometimes.
Yeah, Kukui's such a great professor too.
He looks cool. So much like Jay Wish.
He does. Yeah. Yeah. He's such a cool professor, and I like Sycamore for that reason too, where he's just kind of that humble, nice guy professor. I mean, I like Professor Oak. I mean, I love Professor Oak because he's the OG. But it's cool to see like a young, cool, hip professor. And of course, Guzma is amazing. I love Guzma.
Speaking of Guzma, and in fact, back to the anime as a whole, there's some pretty disappointing things about it. I mean, I've already seen one thing regarding that Guzma doesn't really sound like a Jersey man.
I know, right?
But with Baba, I'm disappointed that he doesn't scream "Aye!" like in the game.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, and with Guzma, he also doesn't say, "Guzma, what is wrong with you?"
Yeah, dude. That's such a big part of his personality too. Like the big bad Guzma's gonna beat you down and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they should have the Guzma. Hey, it's our boy Guzma. I'm like, yeah, it's your boy Guzma. Like, just make it like very self-aware and fun, like Deadpool as a Pokemon trainer. It'd be so cool. And much less vulgar, obviously. But yeah, Guzma's...
And inappropriate.
Yeah. Guzma's definitely one of my favorite Pokemon characters, period. He's just such a good character.
Yeah.
He's really... I love him. He's just such a cool character. And his Gliscod is dope as heck.
I'm glad that, unlike Chandelure, he got a really cool anime voice.
Yes, it's so...
So I find kind of sad is... to me at least, Chandelure has only sounded cool in the Gen 5 games. Because the Gen 6 remix of the Cry, they took away the thing that made it so cool. They took away like the chiming bell echoing thing.
Oh yeah.
And then in Pokkén Tournament, he sounds like a weird combination of Pinkie Pie mixed with the Joker.
This is true, yeah. And stuff like that, yeah. I love Chandelure in Pokkén. He's so OP. He just says like a big fire hyper beam.
Don't worry, I don't spam the game, but I'm super good with Chan, but I'm also really hilariously good with Machamp. I beat someone online so roughly with him, it was hilarious.
I need to do some online matches with Pokkén,
and let's of course not forget the Synergy Burst, which I personally call the Wall of Fist.
Yes. So those are your mains at Pokkén?
And yeah, I also, back when Pokkén Tournament Deluxe was announced, I wanted to try Empoleon because he's one of my favorite water starters, and upon using him, I was super disappointed because, mainly because the Synergy Burst, you can interrupt it. So, and if you try using it and then the opponent attacks you fast enough, you don't get to do anything. And it was just such a huge disappointment for me. But then when Blastoise and Aegislash came out, I tried both of them. I ended up being slightly better with Blastoise, so I used them.
Would you say they're worth $15? Because I haven't bought them yet.
Well, it depends on two things. If you really love the Pokemon, which to me, I personally do love both, then yes, you should get them. But if you're skeptical about the movesets, look up videos of what they can do, and then choose which one that you think will feel your playstyle most, and then buy that one.
Because I'm kind of a completionist with DLC and stuff usually. That's why I bought the Fighter's Pass. I didn't buy every Mii costume just because that would be a lot of money in costumes I wouldn't use. But yeah, I do like Blastoise, and I really do like Aegislash. I just wasn't sure if they would fit my playstyle. Because my main's Braixen. She's very fast, nimble, and I love the fire attacks. And I tried to use characters like Mewtwo and Pikachu and Charizard, you know, the standard Gen 1er favorites. But I do like to use, I tried to use Sceptile, and I was like, oh cool, I'll be able to use Sceptile. No, I can't. I'm not good with Sceptile. I do love Scizor, though. There's certain Pokemon, like Empoleon was one I could not use because of the floor freezing and the sliding around and stuff. I was just like, oh, what? It's just, and then someone I really struggled with, who was it? Shadow Mewtwo.
Gengar?
Oh, Gengar's
Shadow Mewtwo is a blast cannon. I noticed that if you attack, I could be wrong because it's been a while since I've seen this gameplay, but I think if you attack, it actually drains his HP.
Really?
That does not help the fact that he has 4 HP, so you can literally kill him in no time.
Yeah, but yeah, Braixen's my main. Just because she's cute, she's fast, and she's well-rounded, so... She's just adorable, man. She's just cute.
Braixen was a pain to me, as well as Gengar.
We'll have to battle sometime.
But my least favorite out of all of them is Pikachu Libre. I hate her so much.
Yeah, she's kind of tough for me to use, too.
Yeah, but the thing is, regarding the Synergy Burst, even though I hate when I get hit by it, I can't help but still like it, because it is pretty cool.
Yeah. They've got some really cool attacks. Gengar's broken as all get out with his... I'm telling you, he just opens a hole in the ground and eats you, and you're just dead, and it's like, what?
And then he can fire a laser from his Mega Evolution eye, and
yeah, it's just... He's crazy! He's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't mean to take up so much time, Dan. It's a big tangent.
I've never played Pokemon, so I kind of want to talk about something else.
Sure, yeah. Pokémon's totally different than Pokemon gameplay-wise. I'm terrible at Pokkén, but the characters are great. But as far as what's happened news-wise, obviously we come back to Smash with the podcast. Kind of shift gears here because I'm probably gonna have to cut out in about 15-20 minutes. The meme that's making, not meme, I guess it is kind of a meme, but the quote-unquote leak that's making its rounds is saying that we have a female fighter as Challenger Pack 4, and she has a mecha. So, any thoughts on that? Because I know people are thinking, oh, Tracer's in because Overwatch is coming to the Switch, but not necessarily because The Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch, and Spyro's coming to the Switch, and Ori's coming to the Switch, and that doesn't mean any of those characters are coming to Smash. So, what do you guys think about the Mech League? Do you think there's any cred to it? Do you think there actually could be a mech character, and if so, who do you think it would be?
I think it's a bunch of nonsense, but if it were going to be true, I would say that there would most likely be an Astral Chain character, like the main character from Astral Chain with male and female alts. It basically be like the forum of Smash Ultimate's DLC.
Very true. Kind of that shill pick. The one that sell games. I would hope Nintendo wouldn't do that, but at least the protagonists look really cool and unique. So there is that much going for them. I do think they have a good chance. You have any thoughts, Nint? I know you said something about Tron Bond from Mega Man.
Yeah, but not too long ago, I actually also remembered that Susie from Kirby Planet Robobot also has a mech. But then again, if they were gonna add another Kirby character, why would it be Susie?
I wouldn't mind Susie. She's cool. I like her.
Yeah, and Susie is really fun to use in Kirby Star Allies. I really love that you can actually use her mech, and then I think while she's in the mech, she actually has more defense once you take damage.
Cool. But just design-wise, and I don't know anything about her personality or anything, I just know that she looks adorable and cool, and so, yeah, she looks like a fun character. What game is she from?
Planet Robobot.
Oh, that makes sense. So, that's the one with all the mech robots, right?
Yeah.
I will have to pick that up, because I think I've seen it on sale.
Oh man, if you were to get into Kirby, I'd be so happy.
I played the Kirby Star Allies demo with my brother, and him and I both were just like, okay, this is like stupid easy. There was no challenge.
Oh come on, it's a Kirby.
I know,
game. Come on.
that's true.
They're not known for being hard. Oh, but don't worry, there is challenge, and when the challenge comes, it hits like a truck.
Apparently,
I am not joking. Sometimes I consider Kirby challenges too hard. That's how it's at.
What were you saying?
apparently the original Kirby's Adventure was insanely hard.
I don't know which one I played, but I played one on an emulator probably 7-8 years ago now in high school. And it was black and white, and you fought King Dedede and Meta Knight, and then you fought some big dude in space, which I think was Nightmare? I don't remember.
Dreamland 2, I think?
That might be it.
You must be talking about Dark Matter.
That might be him, yeah.
You're talking about... Oh, you said black and white, so yeah, it's Dreamland 2.
Okay. I think it was either...
It wasn't Adventure.
Or it was like a sepia tone. I forget. It was either sepia or black and white. Might have been sepia tone. But,
If it was... But, do you mean, like, color?
Yeah.
Because if it was in color, then it's Dreamland 3. But then again, I don't remember...
No, it wasn't colored. It was, green... sepia colored? I guess?
Yeah, I think it's Dreamland 3.
Okay. Whatever it was, I liked it. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I actually completed it. That's the only Kirby game I've ever played to completion, so I might pick up Robobot, because that looks cool. So, and especially if Susie's the boss in there, so...
Robobot is cool. I personally have a strong attachment to Star Allies because of the sheer hype I was when it was revealed, and the fact that it fixed the biggest problem I had with Kirby games, which is the lack of things to do, especially if you're a completionist. So, I've invested over 100 hours in Star Allies.
Holy cow!
Guess what? I am still not done.
Holy cow!
I have still not completed all of the puzzle art, and in fact, truth be told, I've been again, as I said earlier, I savor my games, especially ones that I really love. That's why you don't see me play like Freedom Planet all the time or Kirby all the time.
Okay.
So.
You kind of make him a special jump back in at some point to refresh your memory thing.
Yeah, exactly. And regarding Freedom Planet, I still did not beat Carol's story, and I'm actually saving that when the 1 year anniversary of me getting the game comes out.
Cool. Way to ring it in, yeah. If Star Allies goes on sale for Black Friday, I'll probably pick it up. Especially now that all the DLC has shown up, and it's all free DLC, correct?
Yeah.
Sweet. Because I want to play Rig.
Free DLC. You get more characters, more puzzles, more maps in the guest star mode. It's a good game.
Okay. I just know that there was a lot of complaints when it first came out, and rightfully so, because it was kind of bare bones, because there was just not really much to do for $60, but they definitely fixed it with DLC, and at least it was free. It's just kind of like, you know, why wasn't it there to start with? Which I can understand the whole new game mode with the Mage Sisters, but the rest is kind of like, why wasn't this there to start with? But, I mean, at least they fixed it. At least they didn't leave it incomplete like some developers do on Fallout 76. But yeah, that trash can fire, from what I've heard. But yeah, so I'll probably pick it up if it goes on sale. And if I can find Robobot, I'll probably get that too. So. I don't want to oversaturate with games because I'm already behind as it is. Because still haven't finished Tropical Freeze. I started, excuse me, I started Cortex Strikes Back and have not finished that or started Warped. I'm probably getting Spyro Reignited and A Hat in Time for Christmas. I just got Runbow. I have not played Twilight Princess yet. Not Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time for the 3DS.
Didn't you get that like last year?
I did, and I still have not. Yeah, I haven't played it yet. Yeah, last year for Black Friday, I went all ham and got Crash Insane, ARMS, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Ocarina of Time, one other game that the name escapes. Oh, what was it? Oh man, it was a Switch game. I forget. But anyway, what was it? I'm gonna kick myself. I got Odyssey for Christmas that year, and that game was amazing. I love it. I need to go back and play that again too, because I've got probably half the moons in the game, and there's way more that I need to get. So.
Oh yeah, there's too many moons.
Yeah, yes, there are many moons.
That's my big gripe with the game. There's way too many moons.
Yeah, that's a beautiful game too.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed that the T-Rex part was so limited. There's not much you can do except stomp around in certain parts, and I was like, oh man, I wanted to like run through planes and stuff as a T-Rex Mario and stuff. So I mean, it just, in that regard, it was kind of limited because there's so many specific areas that you can only use certain transformations and stuff. But it's still a fun game, and it's kind of limited. I was thinking, oh, you can just like hop around the map as a frog, or run around as a T-Rex or a Goomba or something. But I did love the Goomba Tower thing. That was fun. Just stepping around as 15 Goombas in a stack, because why not? But it's just, kind of rambling, obviously. But, I can't really
My favorite transformation was the Gushin, the octopus in the water bubble, because I like messing around with him, with it being able to fly, and I actually goofed off a little bit by spamming the A button to make it think like he was running out of water, and then Mario just flopped down. And one time it happened and I fell into lava.
Oh! Yeah, that was one of my favorite transformations.
I think I did that on purpose for a video call.
It's like, oh, I'm out of water! Oops.
Yeah.
That was a good transformation, too. I'm biased to the T-Rex because I love dinosaurs, but that one was definitely very fun and it just had a lot of maneuverability. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And of course the Goombas, because it's a Goomba with the mustache and a Mario head. That's cute. But yeah. Can't really think of anything else. I mean, back to the Smash
There's
thing.
something I want to talk about.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a way to bring it up. I saw a video today of a Persona 5 randomizer.
Really?
Basically, what it does is it randomizes the enemies that you get in palaces, so that you can even get bosses just in the middle of palaces.
Holy cow!
There's I don't want to spoil anything, but there's this massive like, you know, Sphinx lady that's a boss, and she appeared a couple times in the randomizer, and you could basically just see her head, because the rest of her body was like just kind of under the floor, because she's just so big.
Huh. That's so she was no clipping through the floor because her stage is normally bigger than that. Okay.
That sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah, man. oh my gosh,
Yeah.
a floating head! Sphinx thing! But yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I actually saw another thing of the Sonic Adventure 2 randomizer, where random voice clips and random music would play in cutscenes, and you'd also get random characters with random stages and random bosses.
Huh.
It was just so wacky. What I watched was utterly hilarious. People were just, there was just random voice clips that were playing over the cutscenes and just random music. It was people were talking that weren't supposed to be talking, and things were happening that weren't supposed to be happening.
So you'd have the ending of the game at the beginning of the game, pretty much.
And you can have Shadow, talking where Amy's supposed to be talking or whatever. It's just random voice lines.
That makes for some fun headcanon. So
Oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's fun. That's cool. Randomizers are always such weird things, but they're so fun. I've never done one, but I've seen people do random stuff, and it's just like, wow. As far as that Smash League goes, I think that the Astral Chain protagonist definitely stands a good chance. I've seen 2B's name come up a good bit from Nier Automata, because she has a little mech droid, so she's possible, I'm sure. They'd probably have to censor her to death, but she definitely has a chance, I guess, especially with Square, working with Nintendo. And of course, Platinum Games working with Nintendo as well. None of them are really characters I want,
Yeah, and this is, I don't know how many people agree with this, but we got 2 anime-looking characters in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
we got our goofy bear boy, but we got him coming. So.
Yeah.
I just want Shantae.
I know, man. I know.
Banjo's the only character I'm getting. And after Banjo comes out, Ultimate Screen is going to be a dead game to me. I don't care if anyone else gets in. Even if by some miracle, Lilac or Gunvolt or even my biggest pipe dream character, Sylveon, somehow gets in.
We should probably wrap up.
Yeah, I just didn't want to cut you guys off, because I know I talked a good bit. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on, Smash speculation, gaming. There wasn't a lot of gaming news this week besides Masters coming out that I knew of, or at least games we were interested in. So that we apologize for not really talking about news as much this week as what we've been up to. But just, obviously we've been up to a lot, so definitely wanted to talk about that. It definitely puts a little bit of a different spin on the podcast, because we don't get to often talk too much in depth about, what we've been up to and what we've been playing and stuff, so, because a lot of times before, we've recorded just after a Nintendo Direct, or a Smash character dropped, or something like that, so, it's nice to get, to take a chance to just talk about, what have we been up to, what games have we been playing, what's your thoughts on so-and-so, so, definitely nice change of pace, and sadly Drew ended up not showing up, so I'll have to pass this on to him to record this, or edit this. But, as always, we thank you guys so much for watching. We'll have all our links to our social medias in the description below. You can find all 3 of us on Twitter. I know NintIce2000 has his Amino, and
I don't really use the Amino anymore.
Oh, okay. Alright, but we're all on Twitter. Drew will put all this in the description.
Yeah, I still use Twitter.
Oh, yeah. We all use Twitter. But yeah, you guys have anything else to add before we head out?
No, I just want to say that I was really glad I was able to discuss my video game ideas, and I just want if anybody watching this has skills that could help me with create an indie game studio, creating games, please let me know in the comments so that I can see that and get you to help me get your help for the game and potentially in the future. So that's all I wanted to say.
just keeps your dreams strong, man.
Oh yeah.
This especially comes from close experience. Even if you get doubtful or get down about your own creation, keep it up. Just keep your dreams strong.
Because that sounds like
Okay.
a really cool idea. Yeah, definitely. Persevere, keep it going, find a good team, and work hard at it. For sure. Because that sounds like a really dope idea. So.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well,
I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next week.
I'm very glad.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, I just didn't get to say anything for the outro. It's a huge privilege to have been able to do something like this, because I've never been in like a podcast before, and my dream career is to do YouTube, and this is technically like my big YouTube debut, aside from my own channel, you know, kind of like how Spider-Man in the MCU was in Civil War before he got his own movie.
Yeah. This is just a precursor of things to come.
Yeah, and I was honestly quite nervous to do something like this, but I had a lot of fun, and I really hope I can do this again sometime.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we're always welcome. All of our fans are always welcome on the show.
the next time you do it, I probably won't be available because I'll probably be, busy at school. So
that is one thing we need to mention, that Dan will be absent for I'm not sure how long, for a while at least, because you will be doing school stuff. So.
My last year of high school, so it's important that I focus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, understandably so.
And we'll definitely be in touch to let you guys know when he's going to be back. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty much available like all the time. So.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Dan, we will see you soon, man. Hope you do very well in school, and just
good luck.
And we're hopefully sometime this week we will have a video with Papagenos, you, I, and Andrew. We're all playing Smash and talking on Skype at the same time. Hopefully we can do that.
Hopefully so. My connection's kind of iffy most of the time, but we'll see what we can do.
Alright.
Alright.
So I guess that'll do it then.
You guys have anything else to add before we head out?
Nope.
Not really. I kind of said what I had to say.
Alright. But, Ned, it was great to have you on the show for the first time, man. Great having you, man.
Thanks.
Not just as a fan, but as a friend. So, great to have you on here.
Yeah. Really big pleasure to have done this. I'm happy that I managed to, brave it out and do this, because I had a lot of fun, and I really hope I can do this again soon.
Yeah, man, we're definitely trying to get more fans on the show involved and stuff. So if you guys ever want to chime in on the podcast one week, let us know. Let Drew or I in the comments know. We'll try and work something out and try and get everybody a turn, so everybody can have a chance to talk and stuff. Because we want this to be a community thing, as Drew's talked about before. It doesn't just need to be, him, me, and Papagenos. We want it to be a community-wide thing, and as long as people are chiming in and adding to the discussion, man, it's going to be a good time. So, until next week, see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Pizza. Pikachu.
That was awesome. Dude, you do a great impression.
Thank you.
That's it.
Mahala.